This is the second bottle I opened. I will pour it in first, third. It's first. I'm using the camera to pour the water into the pot and not elsewheres. For those of you who are using myself for motions, I have every motion I made in leverage that I am using a handheld camera. Access is really the landlording of Fremont Gardens Apartments complex in Las Vegas, Nevada. So, what do I do in the event of I want to live someplace else? Well, I don't have karma with that yet. But when I do, I will die out of the formed world permanently. Off, high, 9, 8, 7. The light is on. It could have gone the other way. Off, low, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can see my hands at this time, and I can show you that it's on 7. I have to watch like this. I'm showing both my hands. One hand's on the camera. That's the 7 right there. I'm just not ensuring your motions is why I'm doing that. Do you ever feel like somebody's slowly breaking you the bad news? Yep. I don't afford you. You have some kind of a carry problem. Carry, carry. You are trying to carry myself and move the whole world around itself. The people that are surrounding myself who might know me or talk to me in person and alive, that you are trying to move the whole creation around myself that way. And at the same time, you don't know who I am and you charge money for the things that I need. That means you're moving the creation around the charges, and you're making the charges to everyone as though you don't know every one of them is not myself. You don't know who's going to come in the store or establishment and that they would be possibly myself, and you would have to charge me money, and you charge everybody money every time for everything, for all the prices that are posted. Well, that's where we are now, and I'm just letting you know that I am leaving that because I am alive, that I am just myself. I am not everybody who is not myself to everybody who is not yourself to yourself. And that's going one person at a time, each of everybody. I am going into some of the explanation as to why the prices are so high. And if you see a lower price after a higher price, that is high pricing to do that. It's a high price and then another price. So you can count it as a lower price and the price you would pay, but there is a higher price first, including if you've seen a higher price, you've come back and seen a lower price and decided to pay a lower price, that you didn't pay a higher price before. You want the same thing for a lower price. I'm saying it's expensive to make you see that and that you might want to do that. So that's true that make you see it as really that if you are already in the store, you might see something like that. If you already been to an establishment before, you've seen something like that. But I do acknowledge that you have illegal alive genital penis that puts everybody outside homeless on all the points. And I don't have a penis and alive of myself is how I am alive myself. Even though there are people with a penis who are trying to control my life, I'm the one who alives that is doing that. I am the finder. How do you find something wrong with the finder? You mean like break a window? Did you ever see a window and break a window and then you really didn't like the conditions after the window was broken? Well, that's kind of what you did in my life. It's possible to break a window. It's possible to make a disaster in my life. But that is really you not knowing how to be yourself under the pressure it is to be near myself. And I need myself deceased in the threatening because there is an illegal trespasser in my house. And I don't want my house. I want out of my house for all of the threatening. For that there's somebody in there and they are creating all of the shunts, illegal alive human being shunts that were elsewhere's Jesus having formed them. But the person who's in my house is aliving them because they are illegally alive. They are following like they would be in my house with her and then they are put out of my house by me. But I didn't alive you. I put you out of my house and then she put me out of my own house. And that's what you live off of. I did not clean the spots off of this. They're water spots. I would like to say the reason I don't want to clean the water spots off is because the water itself is a low-grade tap water and it leaves spots because it is itself. I need to separate this into half and half with the soup mixed powder evenly distributed. And I need to do that before the water boils, but I'm going to be too late. There's a little water in the bottom of the bowl, so some of the soup mix is going to be stuck to the bottom of the bowl. Okay. I need to put back the soup mix I'm not going to use into the bowl, into the bag. Somebody said an obscene comment. How is your hand? There's a few ways that's wrong to me. You don't ask somebody how's your hand because you care. If you care, you give them something that's yours to yourself, and then you say goodbye to yourself and go to jail and prison. That's how you can care about somebody who's not yourself. Otherwise, you're just threatening them that they're not yourself and you're not themselves. And then there's all of the public and everything that moves. Well, I don't need that out of you anymore. I don't have a life that way anymore. Okay, the water is boiling. I have this bag of soup mix filled about halfway, I guess. Let me put some more noodles in it. This is going to be for next time because I could just throw it out, whatever I'm not going to use. But I can't because you don't give me more for that reason. I need more exactly for that reason. You should say, this is extra in case you need to throw out something. Yeah, that's what you need to say to me at the store. Or someone who's doing the shopping for this address. You don't like the nice person you would become if you had done something like that. Okay, this is the soup mix. That's the boiling water. Ooh, that's hot. The steam just burned me a little on the pinky finger, my fifth finger, if you will, but I have a thumb, which is why I say pinky finger. Okay, that's the soup mix that's stuck to the bottom of the bowl. And then this is here. I can wash the bowl, but that's really just for presentation. This is not a restaurant, so there is definitely something wrong. I cannot cover up like a restaurant would. Okay, this is I can use this or I can use this one. It's supposed to whisk it in. Whisk it in, I would use a fork. I could use this to whisk it in. Let me try. See if that's needed. I don't know if it's needed with the chicken noodle soup. That's more needed with the powdered soups, potato soup or cheddar broccoli soup. But I don't want any trouble. I want it to be whisked in. I want it to be very good. Lori Hutton, you're not cooking for anyone because you have a stroke. Okay. Lori Hutton is a visitor to my house and I no longer live there. And I don't know how to get in touch with her to tell her that I no longer live there. Since she left Donna at my house, didn't leave in her car with her. Lori came in a car. She had a stroke and she arrived in a car I saw parking. I didn't see her drive it, but I saw the car parking outside of the condominium 2606 Westlake Isle Drive in Mequon, Wisconsin, where I was living at the time. And I don't live there now, but that's where I was at the time. And her car was parking out there. I guess it was her car. It was a car that I've not seen before, and it did leave. I did not see the keys for that car inside of my housing for me to be able to use the car. So did she just leave? Where? Why? What does she want? She wants to be a guest at my house like she's part of the family. Well, if she's part of the family, what is she going to do about myself being homeless here? If it doesn't matter, why am I saying her name? And if that doesn't matter, why am I saying her name? And if that doesn't matter, why am I saying her name? Lori Hutton, Lori Hutton, Lori Hutton, Lori Hutton. Okay, this is the rest of the soup mix. Hopefully that's about half. Whisk in soup mix. Okay, we tried that. Reduce heat to medium and simmer uncovered for 10 minutes. I know I've probably shown those directions before, but I was asking myself, is that too much bubbling on the top? Like boiling, bubbling. Should it be like lower? I'm going to leave it there because I want it to be thoroughly cooked. And I want the noodles to be fully cooked all the way through, so they're not like a little bit hard or anything. So 10 minutes, did it say 10 minutes or 15 minutes? 10 minutes, right? 10 minutes, so it's 17 minutes in the video right now, 27 minutes of the video if I keep going. Does anybody want to wait 10 minutes for this to be finished boiling? And then do you want to wait to eat with me? Well, you all have my food money. Do you want to see me eat or not? You really just want to see yourself eat. You don't want to see me eat. You don't want the time that it takes to prepare the food that I eat and the time it takes for me to eat the food that I eat. You really just want to eat. But what do you, like, why? Why do you want, because it's food. Let's say you don't like me. If you put something in your mouth, you're you, and what you put in your mouth, that's food. So what does that have to do with whether or not you have a certain opinion about myself? Okay, so it's more than an opinion. You want something out of it. Like what? I've never heard anyone admit that they want something out of what I need for myself. What, you don't want anything as far as I know. You don't want anything. You don't need anything. Charles Toe used to love to say around here, no need. No need. I need my need. So I wouldn't say that. I would say I need my need, because need means significance. God as a witness that I need something. The creator of myself needs something. God, omnipresent, needs something, and this Godhead. If I need something, that means God as a witness that I need something is meant for myself, that to be mine to myself. If you say no to need, do you say no to your own need? Do you say no to need of somewhere else? Do you say no to every need there is? How do you say no to just some of the needs? If you're Charles Toe, how do you just say no to the needs that are around Charles Toe? What about the needs that are elsewhere's? If somebody else needs something, how can you make sure you say no to that need and to every need everywhere ever? And what about the needs that are already deceased? What if needs had been fulfilled and that's already deceased? What if it's locked up somewhere in the past? How are you going to say no to that? If you violate somebody in the genitals, have you contaminated the past? Whatever was past. You don't know what's past. Did you just poison, contaminate, and break something that was in the past, that was never yourself, that was never yours for you? I'm putting sexual abuse right out of myself forever. I will never see sexual abuse again with this Godhead, and I will never alive it again in this world. I have to say this word, world, a little more specifically, the world order. I will never allow sexual abuse again in the world order, because I'm deceasing myself out of the world order. And that's what I'm going to haul off with myself. And another way I will ensure that there will not be sexual abuse by anyone with a dong genital or a penis genital. And I know they're not alive at the same time, so I will say it, worlds deceased. Of dong genital, worlds deceased. and penis genital world deceased. That is how I will make sure you don't have sexual abuse in a live of any part of the order, because sexual abuse is affecting parts of the order that already are deceased before and as a condition of this world being formed. That means if you talk to me about myself and you sexually abuse my genitals, with you think is cooperation, but it's really trickery, because I'm not in a walled-in prison with deceased address. That means the address already has to be deceased. If you see an address anywhere, you can't put your hands on anybody in anger. Including you can't nail them in the ear and tell them to put their hands on your own genitals. And they don't have a life that way, and they don't want to do that. So what's the entrapment? If you don't want to put your hands on somebody else's genitals, to be sure that you don't confuse them, you should be in prison in advance of ever putting your hands on somebody else's genitals. Well, that's what you would say to your Godhead. All right, then. I'm going to decease the Godhead out of the order, and we'll clear that right up. When we don't see the door locking anymore, that's how I'm going to solve what you think is a hypocrisy, that I myself am not in prison. How are you going to do that? Because you're going to look at me with your stolen eyes. And what about some of you who have blue eyes? That means you know your eyes are stolen to yourself. If you look at me with your stolen eyes and accuse me of a hypocrisy, how are you going to pay for it when I am myself no longer in the order that alived you saying that with your eyes and ears? That means you said that with yourself. It was alive that way for you until you don't have alive anymore, because I don't have alive anymore. And you didn't have that in the order at the time you were angry. You didn't have that in the order at the time you were accusing somebody of being a hypocrisy, was interfering with your own process and progress, according to you. You don't speak English. We'll get to that. I need a bag to wrap this noodle soup in, the mix right there, to keep the top covered so it doesn't spill or have air inside that I'm thinking it's not fresh air. Even though I'm alone in here, it's not fresh air. You don't want that exposed to the air. So I can use Lunder's Bagels plain bag, or I can use this Bubba's Bagels everything with flax seeds bag, and it has little seeds in the bottom of the bag. So I don't really want to keep it, but I have it here for another reason that has to do with the Dr. Pooper box. Yeah, but I'm not the one who said Dr. Pooper box on the internet first. I said it second, maybe. Or maybe, what if somebody read the comment that said Dr. Pooper box? And then they read it to themselves. They thought about it. What if somebody else read it? What if somebody said it to somebody else? I read a comment that says Dr. Pooper box. We don't know in this apartment. I don't know that with my God head. I'm God in this head, and I don't know that. So I'm going to save this Bubba's Bagels for the Dr. Pooper problem. But I already missed it and used something else, and it's outside. I'm past that. I would have thrown that away for that I had a bowel movement. I used something else. Where is it? Do you want to know where it is? Is it in there? Should I dump the whole garbage can out so you can look and see if there's anything in there that would make you alarmed that there's something that hasn't been taken out to the dumpster? Because I'm not going to use the toilet. How come you have to worry about somebody who doesn't want to use a toilet? Why would you need to worry about that? And that's me needing to go over to this soup mix. And I need to throw it out because you don't actually save it in karma. I save it and eat it because it's mine to myself, but it's not yours to yourself. You don't save it and eat it. With that, you can see it. You don't all arrive to do that. If I have more than one view on this internet video, I would know. That's what it takes to even post the video. If it has a view or more than one view, that's what it would be to post the video. This is looking like I might need to add more water, and I don't have that ready yet. Well, I guess it's done because it's past, did I say 27 minutes? It's at 30 minutes now, so it's maybe time to turn off the burners. What is that? It's not a button, it's a knob of sorts. Okay. I need to turn the knob down to off, but I don't have that done yet. It's still cooking. That means I don't need the cooking instructions that say it's 10 minutes and then it's done. I need to cook it myself the way I need it to be done for me. But there's already cooking instructions on the bag and pouch, if you want to call this a pouch. There's already cooking instructions right there, directions. They're instructions to me because I'm here inside doing this myself. Directions would be if I possibly serve that to somebody else. I would be directed on how to prepare it for God and somebody else. But I'm God and myself right here. I don't need directions, but I can use instructions because I am someone who grew up on somebody else's cooking. And she didn't leave so that I could eat other people's cooking. I could still keep my house. Well, I didn't sell my house for food. I didn't sell my house for anything. And it's not her house and alive. I don't know how to break the news to you, but it's not her house and alive. It's my house and alive, and you just don't know it so hard. You're going to find out someday when you need your genitals removed. That's how you're going to get your genitals off. You're going to have to say, I need my genitals off. Is that Godhead deceased out of its house. Oh, that's how I'm going to get my genitals off the wrong way. Yep, you don't have that. Your genitals would come off you like God that way. Nope, you can't say come off it, Grandma Rose. You don't have alive that way. The plain bagels are not my first choice to eat them, but it leaves a plastic bag I can use for this soup mix. And it's a lender's bag. Somebody is lending me this bag so that I can use it to keep preserve this soup mix, so that I don't spill it or it doesn't come into contact with the air. It's been in a store, so I understand. It didn't appear here in the apartment. I don't have any food appearing in my house because of myself. If there are stores with shoppers in there, if you shop in the stores, I don't get the food appearing in my house. It's more than that. I'm not appearing in my house anymore. This is an apartment. Okay, this soup mix. I need 3 hands for this. I need another hand to open this because that's where I'm going to keep this soup mix. I'm doing it like this, holding it, but that's you not understanding that you have a motion due here. And you can't be someone who's threatening me that you're going to take away something that moves, but you're not going to move something that moves the way it should move. Wow. Everyone take a deep breath. God is come. I'm going to leave that in there for God. Usually eat everything, but I'm going to leave that in there because I have the camera in my hand. Okay, now I'm going to try and pick this up, and I can't because it's too hot. That's too hot. I can't. I need to set down the camera. Okay. It might need a little more water, so I'll get some. Okay, I will be seated. I need to move the soup bowl just to sit down so I don't knock it over. I am normally 5 feet 6 inches tall and about 120 pounds. I don't afford to be the appearance that I am here, which is I'm not full height and I'm overweight. And I don't know the exact measurements. Somebody did this to me. I wear black to cover it up, and it's a robe. I just don't wear clothes anymore because they don't fit my height or my weight. If I had to wear the same clothes size I've been wearing all my life, they don't fit my current height and weight. So I'm saying no, but I have to wear a bathrobe because you don't leave that I'm a nudist problem and I want to die. I want to die of that. I don't have anything to wear. But I've been illegally alive with not having something to wear for being overweight and not at full height anymore by about between 2 and 3 inches shorter than my full height of 5 feet 6 inches tall. And I don't afford to know you that way. I hear an ice cream truck. Do you want to see it? It's like living in Mexico. Somebody said I should get off my parents' money. I guess they just didn't say they were sorry that I am not themselves. If I should get off my parents' money, that's not the person who said it. My parents didn't say, I think you should get off your parents' money. Nope. They would say, we think you should be financially independent from your parents. Yeah. So if my parents said, we think you should be financially independent from your parents, and if a sex offender said, I think you should get off your parents' money, yeah. So if the parents tell the sex offender, we want her to be financially independent from her parents, and she is not. And the sex offender is a sex offender who doesn't have any money because he's a sex offender that belongs in jail and prison on that point. He doesn't have any money. So how do you expect me to be myself in either scenario? So the parents are mom and dad, mom is Donna, dad is Hans, and the sex offender is Howard Chait. And I don't know you three together, so you can make the threatening in front of me, how you're going to gang up on me and disagree with. I don't get it how my mom and dad could even live together. How is that even possible? Is somebody going to wipe this off the rim of my soup bowl? No, it's not my soup bowl, it's the soup bowl and it looks like that. And nobody's going to clean it up for me unless I don't like it so much I'd clean it up for myself. Sure. But I'm just telling you what is over here. What is over for me. You don't have the motions done on this Godhead, and you still want to say no. You can't just say nothing because you don't have the motions done on this Godhead. You say no, no matter what happens in my life. If I have like one of these soup mix powder, how do you say, like grain of a powder. If I just take, let's say, if I scrape off this much with my hand and I put it on the table. Okay, now are you going to say to me, you have a problem with who you are, you should get off your parents' money. If you have a sex offender, you are attracting that in your own life to yourself and that's your fault. Are you going to go on with how you're going to say no to me because I'm not yourself, and no to me is something I have to live with that I am myself, and you're sorry to me that I am myself, aren't you? Yeah, but you don't have the motions done on this Godhead. I just did one right in front of you. And you didn't do that, I did it. And did you say no to that? Would you? Because it was like every little grain of the mix, of the powdered mix. I could just take that off because I'm right here, but you're not right here. I can do this because I'm right here, but you're not right here. And you don't have this motion done, that you would give me something else and I would stop talking about it. Does it not matter that I'm talking about it? Does it matter if you say, I think you should get off your parents' money? You have a problem with who you are. You need to be financially independent from the parents. What's your last name? Where are you going? You talk to me like the creator of myself is going to quit his job based on something you say to me about myself. Who hired you? Who sent you? The creator of myself hired you to interfere with the creation of myself, and he's going to quit his job, and what's going to happen to me? Because my genitals are not finished, no matter what. If you don't believe in the creator of myself, my genitals are not finished right here, right now. You are wrong that way. You are alone in the wrong that way. Do you want me to be financially independent from YouTube? And you can't shut off YouTube for everyone. If you're still there, you're consuming that everything that I say is true to myself. Yeah, but you're not myself. What are you going to do? I think a sex offender to myself, the ones that I already know, and then the ones who know themselves but might be elsewheres. I think you should appear in the afterlife for all of the threatening on this Godhead, because you need to be there to say no to every threat, because that's how you'll know that you're a rapist. Otherwise, you think you got by without finding out what you really did wrong. What was the impact on myself? I'm going out of alive here. I'm going out of formed because I don't have time to do that, not even with just one of you, because you're not a creator of myself, and you dismiss the creation of myself with itself. Where you don't get genitals again that way, but there's something wrong with me having to say that. So are you forcing me to talk to you about your genitals while I am myself in my own genitals? And it's illegal to do that. I did not do that before, not even with the sexual abuse, because what I'm saying is you don't afford to be in your genitals, and sexual abuse is not really what puts you in your genitals or puts you out of your genitals. So that's why I'm out of the boundaries of as far as sexual abuse can go. If you're going to attack somebody who's not yourself, you don't shut off the creation of their genitals by sexually abusing them, and then they just vanish right out from under your hands or etc. However you sexually abuse somebody. So I just described that I need you out of your genitals because it's against my Godhead. But I'm saying it with my Godhead. You don't know who I am, or you do. So you're that kind of malicious. And you have genitals, what for? How is this helping? That's what Mitch would say to me. How is this helping? You're malicious and you're in genitals. How is this helping? How is it helping that you're in genitals and you're malicious? Malicious is if you're in heaven. Heaven knows what malicious is. Heaven is omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, and it can be malicious. If you are in one illegal alive genital penis, how can you know how to be malicious? As though you are not in genitals and you are above, looking down at yourself from heaven. How is this helping that you're in genitals? You want to take away everything that moves away from myself. You want to kick me off of YouTube. You want me to be financially independent from YouTube, banking, my last name, my first name. You want me to disappear. You want me to be silenced by everything you can forget with your head over your genitals. What do I need that for? What makes you think I need you in your genitals and you don't know who I am? If you don't know who I am in your genitals, you're going to die out of your genitals for that reason, and you will know it when it happens to you. You can say never now. Crank that head around. Say never now. Your head is going to come off you like God to me.